Am I the a-hole for playing cheating songs whenever my dad's side piece walks in, causing her to have a breakdown? Hi, I don't want to appear like a brat, so I'll put some context first. I, 16 female, and my three brothers, 10, 12, 13, we had a happy home life until my mom saw my dad with his mistress and his other children at another church she was volunteering for. Things hit the fan on my dad's side and he was disowned. The divorce happened. He married her within a month of his divorce and he got married on the day our sibling died. It was effed up time and I hated him more as every day passed. Our feelings and opinions were ignored and we refused to visit my dad. They threatened to give my dad full custody and we'd never see my mom again if we didn't cooperate. Unfortunately, we saw him every weekend and some weeks during the holidays. It's been 2 years and we hate them both even more. I don't speak to her 6 children, which she has reprimanded us all for this and took food, clothes, toys, games, etc. away until we submitted. I used to hoard food in my room that I shared with my youngest brother, and we'd stay in our room until it's time to go home. As of recently, she's taken the door from my room as she found the food, and we would have had to. Is that legal? Isn't that considered child abuse technically? She's taken the door from my room as she found the food, and we've had to sleep in the living room. And we are not allowed to leave unless we need to use the bathroom, which we've got to ask permission for. Anyway, I've got sick of her bull and started playing cheating songs on full volume. She's been screaming, shouting, crying to my dad, so I stopped doing so until she walked in the room, and if she stayed in the room, I kept playing them and singing along. This has been our new normal for the past couple of weeks now, and my brothers have joined in too. I will not allow my mom or sister to be disrespected or have them try and force me and my siblings to call her mom. We don't want to be there, never have, never will, but they just don't get it and are selfish and self-centered. Last week, she had a breakdown, which I don't feel is my fault. However, her mom insists it is, and I sent to the wilderness camp for troubled teens. Her three eldest have realized how she met her dad and have refused to visit her in the hospital too. Am I the a-hole? For a young girl, OP has a lot of pride and ego, and the fact that she can't stand that her dad and this new woman are trying to disrespect her mom. Like, this is me. There's nobody I hate more in God's green earth than somebody who disrespects my mom. Top comment: withholding food from a child you're responsible for is neglect and abuse. Record every time they do it. The courts take an exceptionally dim view of it. And then someone responded to that saying, not to mention, you cannot provide adequate living space for a non-custodial visit. Forcing them to be without a door or to sleep in the living room can be grounds for termination of forced visitation. That's literally a child abuse, because why in God's green earth do why she's a teenage girl, she's 16, she needs her privacy, and even if she was 2 years old, at the end of the day, this is literally just so sad. I really hope this man stops treating his children like some toys to fiddle with. Am I the a-hole for saying that I would be more devastated if my twin brother passed than my fiance? There is some backstory that I have to get through. I, 24 female, have had two brothers, a twin, and an older one, 26. We've been really, really close since childhood. Brothers doted on me a lot, and I clung to them like a little sister. We were best friends. Then when we were 12, 14, our parents got into an accident and passed away, and we were sent to live with our uncle. We could tell that they didn't really want us, but since we don't really have any other family, they took us in so we wouldn't be in the system. So we spent most of our teenage years being ignored and relied on each other for emotional support. As the years went on, things became a little more manageable. We were able to function more. We were still close, but life started happening. We got jobs and all went to college, and that's where I met my fiance. When it came time to introduce my then boyfriend to my brothers, they all got along well. And now that we're engaged and living together, things were still going well. But then a few months ago, my older brother got in an accident, a drunk driver. A few days after it happened, I just wanted to be by my twin. I couldn't stop crying. I was paranoid that something might happen to him too. Whenever I'd come home, I noticed my fiancé growing distance from me. He was there when I would need to talk to him, but he wasn't the same. I tried to ask him, but he would just dismiss it, and I barely had energy to even get through the day at that point. Things were just starting to calm down. Then, few days ago, after coming home from lunch with the brother, he snapped on me. He told me that I'm acting like I don't care about him anymore, that I care more about brother than our relationship. I don't see that. I'm there with him every night. We live together. I make sure some kind of dinner is made when he comes home from work every night. He asked me, why couldn't you cry to me instead? Or why couldn't you ask how I was doing? I thought that since that was our brother, Twin could truly understand some things he couldn't, and I didn't want to burden him too much. We both said some hurtful things, and out of nowhere, he asked if I would feel the same way if something bad happened to me. In the heat of the moment, I said I would be devastated, but not as much as if Twin was to pass. I regretted saying it, but things were so heated, and I felt like he wasn't even trying to understand me. Why would he even ask me a question like that? That was our older brother who passed. I can't fathom handling any more of my family passing. I said something horrible, but why did he had become so cold? It's been about 2 days since this happened, and after getting some outside perspective, I wanted to see if maybe we could at least talk it out, regardless of how I'm feeling. But all he could focus on is what I said. And to be honest, considering some of the hurtful things he said to me, I can't say anymore that I regret saying it. Top comment. And I quote, look at me, it all has to be about me. Why can you cry to me instead? And I quote, your fiance has some serious issues, and this should be a red flag for you that he can't empathize with you and expects to be with the center of your world. He's not taking the reality hit well. Yeah, not the a-hole for bursting his bubble. How he handled that will tell you what you need to know. This girl literally grew up without her parents, grew up with people who didn't care about her and, you know, neglected her. And then now her brother, honestly, when I was reading the story, this was just like, I just read it for the first time right now. I honestly thought that he was like at the hospital or something. She didn't mention that her brother passed right off. She just said my brother got into a car accident. So when read that her brother actually passed away, that made me so sad. Now she only has one living family member. Like, she went through all of that. Her brother literally just passed. This is not months and months and years has passed. This literally freshly new. She can't even get some time to process this, to think, to hang out with her brother and to cry it out and to be feeling sad and depressed that her older brother, one of the only two people she had, literally passed away. What? Why can you cry to me? Why can you ask me how I'm doing? Buddy, nobody died from you. It's not that serious. Her brother literally passed away. She has the right to feel sad. And the funny thing is, like, when people get emotionally, like, if she was like to dump all of this on him, he probably would have said, "Wow, this is too much on me. Like, why are you always crying to me? Go to your brother." Da, da, da." Like, people like this, you can never satisfy them or make them happy, because no matter what you do, they're always gonna complain about God knows what. But that's so sad. Like, these type of stories make me so sad. I am so sad for OP. Wow, to live without your family and then your older brother dying and then being neglected as a child. Oh, that is so sad.